Habits. When you really think about it, most of life is something we do out of habit. From the moment we wake up in the morning to the actions we take throughout the day, our morning routine or regular breakfast, our typical commute, the daily grind at work. The habits we develop literally control about 95% of our actions. These types of unconscious thoughts determine what we think, how we feel, and how we behave in nearly every situation we find ourselves in. Because our habits dictate all the small details that make up our everyday lives, they also are directly related to the bigger issues in our lives, such as how much money we earn, the kind of person we marry or live with, our physical condition and health, and every other area of our lives. Our habits determine our character, the type of person we project to the rest of the world, and ultimately, our destiny. So if we embrace bad habits, those habits which have a negative impact on who we are, then those same bad habits will prevent us from achieving excellence in our lives, holding us back from reaching our fullest potential. It's only by breaking bad habits and replacing them with good habits that we can ultimately succeed in life and be the people we were truly meant to be. The purpose of this guide is to show you how to break bad habits. Any sort of bad habit, from those that are damaging to your health, like smoking or not wearing a seatbelt, to those that affect your self-esteem, such as negative thinking or overeating, and replace them with positive behaviors that can become part of your daily life and finally cause you to see the results you truly want. Albert Einstein once said that the definition of insanity was performing the same task over and over again and expecting a different result. When you keep repeating the same bad habits, you would have to be crazy to think that anything will ever change for you. Breaking the habit will show you how to end the madness and start living your life to its fullest by abandoning bad habits and replacing them with positive ones. Wanting to break the habit. I want to begin with a personal story. When I was a younger person, I was a heavy smoker. I began smoking in college. It was during the 80s, and smoking didn't have the cultural stigma it does now, and continued well into my 30s. I knew that smoking was bad for my health. Indeed, I would wake up in the morning with a hacking cough, would feel breathless throughout the day, and by the time I got home at night, I was exhausted, even if I hadn't particularly exerted myself during the day. Then there was the chemical dependency I developed to the nicotine contained in cigarettes. If I went without a cigarette for longer than an hour or so, I would become jittery, irritable, and would even begin to get panicked. It was only when I gave my body the drug it needed — yes, nicotine is a drug and actually is more addictive than heroin — that I was able to return to my normal self. During the 15 years that I smoked, I quit smoking literally hundreds of times. I became something of an expert at quitting smoking, even if I always backslid into the same dirty and unhealthy habit sooner or later. Cold turkey, hypnotism, acupuncture, the patch, nicotine-laced chewing gum, you name it, I tried it. Every time I tried to quit smoking, I truly believed that this was it. I was going to stop and put this terrible habit behind me once and for all, but it never stuck. Ultimately, my desire to smoke became stronger than my desire to stop. Until one day, I came to a stunning discovery. I realized that I truly didn't want to smoke anymore. It was simply something that didn't fit into my life, either then or in the future that I saw for myself. Right then and there, I made a commitment to stop smoking. It was easier than ever before because I truly had no desire to smoke anymore. And, after a few days of uncomfortable withdrawal symptoms, I was finished with it. That was more than 10 years ago, and I haven't had a single cigarette since.